Hello everybody! Here I have a union on my car's brake line that I must disconnect. The flare nut is made from soft metal, like brass, and the brake hose connector is made of steel. Let's shed some light here. Here is how it is connected. There is plenty of wrenches, but which one will be up for the task? The regular open-end wrench will most likely round the nut. When torque is applied to this kind of wrench, the jaws have the tendency to widen slightly and round the nut. A better option than the open-end wrench is a box-end wrench, especially 6-point wrench. As you can see here, the corners on this wrench are rounded so it doesn't press on the nut corners, but rather on the flat surface of the nut. This socket has the same pattern. Unfortunately, because of tolerances, wrenches can be a little bit loose on the bolt head or nut. Sometimes it is possible to go around this problem. For example, when number 12 is too small, but 13 is a bit loose, I reach for half-inch wrench that most of the time fits perfectly. A tight fit makes it easy to remove and doesn't round the bolt head. 6-point box-end wrenches are better than 12 points. But the 6-point box-end wrench is useless on the flare nut. So people came up with this design. A flare nut wrench that is similar to the 6-point box-end wrench, but with an opening. It is pressing on the nut at more points than the open-end wrench. But it can widen under torque as well. There are flare nuts wrenches that address this problem, like this one here. This one is not open all the way to prevent jaws from flexing. One can try to clamp the flare nut wrench with locking pliers to keep it tight on the nut. But for this setup, you need plenty of room. So what is the way to undo this brake union? I will need a lot of patience and a good wrench. Take a look at this design. You can open this wrench to go over the line. An inner spring closes it on the nut. When you turn it one way, it tightens itself on the nut. When you turn it in opposite direction, it opens up and acts as a ratchet. It is important that this wrench doesn't press on the nut corners, but on the flat surface. It minimizes the possibility of rounding the nut. To ease the process, I treat the union with a penetrant. First, I spray it with freezing spray. It cools down the spot up to -62 Fahrenheit. The metal will contract briefly and hopefully break loose the rust. Then I treat the union with ATF mixed with acetone. Let it sit for 30 minutes to do its magic. Repeat if necessary. The end of the rubber hose is fixed on the hanger, but I grab it to keep everything steady. I know, you can't see much right now, but we all will not get under one wheel well. And it is loose now. I will let you on this side to see now. See? The union is disconnected and the brass nut is in perfect shape. Life is beautiful. I don't want too much air to get into the system, so I use this hollow nut with a rubber plug cut from an old tube to close the system. Unfortunately, this wrench will not fit every application. Like this line on the caliper. I have to use the regular flare nut wrench here. It seems that there is another spot we can't use this wrench. The bracket is too close to the wall to turn the wrench. I will go around this problem by setting this bracket at a distance using a long bolt with a nut. The union was treated with the penetrant. The wrench works. The nut is turning and it is intact. Sweet. I wash everything here with brake cleaner. Same story on the other side. But this time it is not so easy. To break the rust bond, I squeeze the hose end with locking pliers. Treat it with penetrant. And it turns. The line is closed and the spot is washed with brake cleaner. In some cases there is no way to take it apart. The only way is to cut it and fix a new flare nut at the end of the line. But this is the subject for another video. This wrench is not Boris Hatter's magic wand. It will not work on already rounded or badly rusted nuts. But it is really good for preventing damage to brass brake line nuts. Till next time.